You're watching part 3 of Label Genie Level 2 course, part 3 of Level 2. If you have not watched the previous two videos, please make sure you do. Otherwise, you might be lost. In the previous one, we looked at how you can do out of box summarization, and at least I felt that simple models maybe don't do a good enough job at summarizing or doing tasks that LLMs might. So, of course, Label Genie has Genie support built into it. And for this example, we'll take a look at the Disney reviews dataset again. I leave the summarization example to you as an exercise. It's straightforward. You'll know what you'll expect from a LLM. And I'll select the review text column here. For the task, you might see that there's a Genie column as the last assisted labeling task. So we'll try that. Now here you can use H2O GPT, or you can also use a custom hosted model. You can host that yourself, connect the model. This does not need the internet, or does not need to talk to external models, does not need to send your data to external models. It can stay in an air gapped environment. Or if you want to use other models to assist you with the labeling, you can also do that. So here, let's select H2O GPT, and you might see there are some example prompts. So let's take a look. The summarized one is pretty straightforward, although I would say you can try different variations of it. I leave that as an exercise to you. Or this one actually looks pretty useful to us. Given the text in the brackets, how good is the following summary? Maybe if you look at product review, you might like this one the most. At least I think it's the most relevant for this one. Given the following review in brackets, how satisfied is the user? We can ask for a satisfaction score. And let's maybe change this. So we're not looking at products, we're looking at Disneylands. So what was their highlight? And let's say, if any, what was their main issue? So let's save this, and we can use H2O GPT now to sort of do a high level understanding of our data set. You might want to change the temperature or not, might want to play around with these hyperparameters. Again, that's your homework. All right, so I came back a few minutes after, and I let the model sort of do the zero shot prediction itself. Depending on your text, you might see that it does it in a batch of two, or you might get your results really fast. I just let it run, and now I've come back, so I think it should be done by now. So you can see on the right, this does look like a 4 or 5-star review. And maybe there's one issue that there was no parade. The highlight could be that the person went with his or her daughter. And you can see that the model, sort of the LLM, did identify these. So let's move to the next one. No, I do not want to change this. I can press K to skip this, or save and move on. So let's save and move on. Now again, you can pause the video and read through this, but on the left, you'll see that it's doing a fairly okay job. You may or may not agree with the satisfaction score. And the alternate, you might say, could be a human identifying these scores. Humans aren't perfect, neither are large language models, but you can pick whichever approach. I think I really like this approach for, let's say, having an open source model like Llama or any other open source model to sort of do my first pass, and then I can speed run through these myself. So I can keep reading and approving these as I go through these examples. Don't click inside the text box when you're trying to provide inputs. And maybe as you go through these, this looks like an interesting one, right? The person writing the review here doesn't seem very happy, and they're saying there's a lot of issues. So you might want to pause and read through this. This might actually help you understand your dataset quite well. Once you're done with all of this, You can again go to the export tab and you can export the approved sample or the zero shot examples. Now, of course, if you watched the previous course, you would know that Label Genie works really well with a lot of different data types. For the final module, there's no lecture, there's a quiz which you can take to get a certification. Or I would suggest, like I have shown you examples in this video, you can bring in your own data set or just use the data sets we've selected uh, in the video description and try to do a parse yourself. If you run through these, you'll really get a feel of how fast you can iterate over these tasks. So if I go to my annotation task, you can see the progress of my annotations. You can see the progress of the zero shot annotations. And remember, this entire product is designed to make your task of becoming one with the data sets really seamless. So thank you for watching this short overview of the advanced features of Label Genie. Again, a lot of these are enabled by going to the settings tab where you can connect your endpoints, put in your API keys, and make sure these would be enabled by default, but make sure you enable the zero shot predictions and the keyboard support. I don't know of any reason why I don't want to use your mouse, but I think these are some little tricks that can maybe help you iterate quite fast. So I look forward to your responses to the quizzes and maybe also questions as you iterate over your data sets. Thanks for watching.